Good morning. For those of you who may not know me, I am Kathy Drexler, chairperson of the Staff Parish Relations Committee and a member of Pastor Ram's leadership team. Pastor Ram has asked me to lead today's prayer time because he and Jane are beginning some well-deserved vacation time. This past 3 months have been challenging for all of us. Parents have had to work their normal jobs and then come home and monitor the education of their children. Residents of assisted living facilities can have no visitors to prevent the virus from entering their facility. People requiring surgery have to go it alone pre- and post-surgery. My husband Pete and I are retired teachers. We stay in contact with many of our former colleagues who had to teach through this crazy last school year. A veteran elementary teacher friend of ours with 38 years of teaching experience said that she felt like a first-year teacher all over again. She had to learn on the fly how to educate her students in a completely new manner from her home. She was at her computer from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday to accommodate the educational needs of all 25 of her students and their families. Wow, what dedication. To the best of my understanding, being a minister during these past 3 months has been similar to being an educator. Pastor Ram has had about 300 parishioners to care for during this crazy time. With the devoted help of Jessica Marshy and Jane Pegram, Ram has had to reshape the way he has done ministry for 26 years. He has done this willingly, with God's guidance and with love for all of us in his heart. When I ask him if I can help lighten his load, his reply is always the same. Please pray for me, Jane, and Jessica. We at Trinity United Methodist Church are very fortunate that God called Ram and Jane Pegram to Lomira 5 years ago. The Pegrams seek God's guidance in the way they lead their lives and in the way they minister to our church and the surrounding communities. As Ram has followed God's lead in how to do ministry during a pandemic and a building shutdown, here is what Ram has been led to do. Through the use of technology, Pastor Ram has been a visitor in my home 3 times a week for the last 3 months. Your home too. What a blessing. Whether it be his Monday prayer time or Thursdays, Ram's ramblings, or Sunday sermons, have you found it comforting to have him speak to you that frequently? Pete and I sure have. There have been times over the past months that fear was beginning to take hold of me. Just at the right time, through one of his video messages, Ram would remind me that God is ultimately in charge, that we should not be afraid. His calming presence has been a great comfort to Pete and me. I know from talking to others that you are also finding peace in his words, sermons, and prayers. As you can probably tell, my husband and I believe that Ram and Jane Pegram are a great blessing from God. The Pegrams are both extremely humble individuals. They both give all credit to God, and they are hesitant to advocate for themselves. As chairperson of the SPRC, I feel that it is my responsibility to let you know how dedicated both Ram and Jane are to following God's lead as they minister to us at Trinity. My teacher friend worked 12-hour days, Monday through Friday, to care for her students and families. I believe that Ram has put in more hours than that during this pandemic to care for you and me. As we speak, Pastor Ram and Jane are driving to Nashville to visit their daughter Rachel, her husband, and their 2 grandsons. Let's rejoice that the extended Pegram family can have some quality time together. Our prayer list includes these people. Sharon Elbis, she's a friend of Tina Rollins, is having heart surgery. Tracy Rohn, Scott Krieger's sister, has finished chemotherapy and she starts radiation treatments soon. Doug Keno has both a broken wrist and broken ribs. Poor Doug. Laverne Sen fractured her hip and she is recovering at Hope Nursing Home. Connor Steers fractured his shin and is recovering from surgery. My guess is Tammy's having trouble keeping him laying low for the summer. Raymond Kittleson, friend of the Kenos, is doing testing in preparation for chemotherapy. Tony O'Malley has leukemia and he's getting a stem cell transplant and going into isolation to prepare for that. Our Trinity member, Gary Jesse, is dealing with prostate cancer. And Jody Hernandez, Glenn Eichsted's sister, is improving enough for a bone marrow transplant. I would like to add to the list, if I may. 2 members of our SPRC have had surgery in the past couple months. Kathy Walker on her heart and Chuck Ryan on his spine. Please pray for healing for both of them. Also, please remember our shut-in members. During this pandemic, our caring ministry team is unable to visit our shut-ins on a normal monthly basis. Plus, if these folks reside in assisted living, their families can't visit them either. I'm sure that these members would appreciate a phone call or a short note if you can find the time. Please allow me to lead you in prayer, and then we will finish together with the Lord's Prayer. Dear God, we are all in need of your loving care. Be with us as we navigate our lives through this very challenging time. Remind us often that you are ultimately in control. Help us to replace fear and worry with your peace. The people on our prayer list all need extra care right now. You know exactly what they need. Remind us to keep them in our thoughts and to pray for their healing. Be with Pastor Ram and Jane as they travel to Nashville. Bless their time with family. Allow them time to just care for each other. Please let them know how much we appreciate their dedication to humbly serve as two of your finest disciples. Grant them peace, time to recover, and an opportunity to just be. Please grant wisdom to our Trinity leadership team as we struggle to make extremely important decisions about opening up the church for worship. Help us strike the right balance, your balance, between meeting the congregation's spiritual needs and protecting them from the coronavirus. And now, God, we, the people of Trinity, are going to join voices in the prayer you taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you for joining me for today's prayer time. Have a blessed week.